Who is Fabian Vogelsteller? Who is this wizard of the blockchain? Well, not enough people know, so I wanted to take a moment to kind of highlight a few of the things that he's already done for this space and is doing for the future of everything that we're trying to build. He worked with the Ethereum Foundation, for almost 4 years, starting, back in 2015, the early days. While there, he helped create the Mist browser, the Ethereum Wallet, and Web3.js, Ethereum's most used JavaScript library to this day. Ever heard of the ERC20 standard? Alongside Vitalik, he authored this standard that ushered in everything as we know it, including ICOs, DeFi, and NFTs. LUKSO itself even launched with a reversible ICO, which was a new way. It was kind of tiered investment pegged to the price of Ethereum to protect the investors and, stay transparent, because you could reverse the remainder of your investment at any point in time along the way if the team wasn't living up to their end of the bargain, which was a really cool way to, help protect investors. As far back as 2017, Fabian was already working towards building this new creative economy, centered around self-sovereign identity, social tokens, and changing the user experience overall, to lead the way for mass adoption. Because we know that the experience is one of the limiting factors, currently onboarding new people. And this was 5 years ago. He was already, planning all of this out. He was so far ahead of the game and truly understood the limitations of what they had built, with Ethereum as it was currently constructed. So, he looked to the future, and alongside Marjorie Hernandez, they launched LUKSO to usher in these new standards. And Fabian, knowing the limitations of ETH long ago, he decided, we need something new. And he authored ERC 725, which finally changes the game and leads us into mass adoption. Because with 725, we're going to introduce the world to, universal profiles. So it's no longer just a wallet with a seed phrase and having to, the mess, right? Try to get a layman into it, and it's very complicated and very convoluted. With universal profiles, it's going to be so simple and sleek that literally anyone can do it, and it will be an enjoyable, fun experience. So the future of this space will be consensus, as it always has been. So the best standards will rise to the top, and the LSP standards at LUKSO are the only ones that are upgradable, malleable, and sustainable, creating a suite of tools and a solid core on top of the Casper consensus protocol directly, instead of trying to work backwards. LUKSO can be ETH 2.0 before ETH, but with interoperability like we've never seen before. Using proof of stake, sharding, and zero-knowledge proofs, it makes the whole platform more scalable and truly decentralized, which the LUKSO team is extremely passionate about, and for good reason. And so is the community. Like, we really care about decentralization, and it means a lot. Because, I won't even go down that rabbit hole of the closed gardens and the frustrations with those systems, And let's talk about relay systems. That's another way to allow a customer to purchase a physical good tied to a digital good, but while creating it all in the back end for them. You can pay the transaction fee for them. You can create universal profiles with their new NFT, attached, and email them a magic link which they can use to access it and use the files and download their stuff. And that's like the minimal entry, right? The security itself is also wholly customizable. You could integrate a hard wallet, You could do a multi-sig. You could create something, with social standards, whatever you want. And the customer will never even know they're using the blockchain. That's the key true to mass adoption, right? And, Fabian has said that the universal profile is not a for-profit project. It's a public good. And that's really what we need in this space is something that everyone can really get behind and build without limitations, to make the metaverse, the multiverse, truly sustainable and all-inclusive. And, it's this type of thinking that truly excites me about this space and everything Fabian has done so far. Thank you. And, best of luck with LUKSO and, your continued success. And, just keep changing the world one magic spell at a time.